talking to Amy Martin. She is the founder of Digital Royalty here in Phoenix. Amy, how are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. Could you tell me a little bit about what Digital Royalty is and how you led up to starting that company?
Absolutely. So Digital Royalty is a social media and digital integration agency. We work with a variety of sports teams, athletes, corporate brands to help them measure and monetize their social media strategy and social media presence in general. And what led up to establishing Digital Royalty was really what I was learning and observing when I worked with the Phoenix Suns, overseeing the digital media platform there, and brands were seeking a way to align with sports teams and sports entities closer and kind of draw on that affinity that fans have for their brands. So they were looking for touch points of natural integration versus the interruption and the force presented by status, and started to develop strategies for marketing partners to associate closer with the sports teams. That's kind of where it started.
Yeah. Now, one of your biggest clients is Shaquille O'Neal.
Literally.
Yeah, biggest in many ways. What kind of stuff are you doing with him? What are you guys doing?
Working with Shaquille, a lot of it, of our strategy for him is measurement and tying in his endorsements, naturally kind of into his overall online and social marketing presence. Really, with Shaquille, he, as everyone knows, has such a personality and has zero ability to fake anything, so transparency has never been an issue. But he does the work when it comes to entertaining, and we provide a lot of the tracking, measurement, identifying trends, helping grow the audience even beyond the sports fan.
Right. So would you say he's a person who gets it and understands what this stuff is all about, or have you guys had to kind of show him the ropes, or how has that gone?
Absolutely. Just inherently, he's a people person. So social media, it's helpful to be social to begin with.
Yeah.
So Shaquille is just that way in his normal everyday nature. So that was a huge, step ahead when we first got started. But he does get it. He understands the engagement. He likes to get to know fans. He likes to interact. When we came up with the Random Acts of Shackness umbrella for him and playing Twitter tag, he always adds to the ideas and takes them and really embraces the ideas and suggestions we have for him.
Very cool. So you mentioned this Random Acts of Shackness. Can you explain that to me, what that's about?
Absolutely. So Shaquille was on Twitter. I actually gave him his first Twitter tutorial with his big thumbs on his phone, and embraced it, before everyone's eyes. Everybody was able to see what he was doing with his Twitter presence, obviously firsthand. And after a few months of growing his follower base, he was almost at about 50,000 followers. I presented him with an idea of just implementing an umbrella, very loose, fluid concept of random acts of Shackness. So this could be buying a fan lunch, it could be Twitter tag. There were times where we'd identify a fan that he would actually call. He'd ask for their phone number over Twitter. They'd DM, the phone number, and we'd record it, repurpose that audio back over Twitter to just drive home the authenticity and that this really was him.
Yeah.
And provide a little bit more engagement, have fun with it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So what are some of the other clients you guys are working with?
We work with the Chicago White Sox, who just had a big day in social media with Mark Burley pitching or throwing a perfect game.
Yeah.
And the UFC, Ultimate Fighting Championship, Discount Tire Corporate, a few other athletes and sports teams. Really kind of runs the gamut.
There's been talk recently, like with the NFL season getting ready to start up. They have a regulation where they're not allowed to use their phones from the sidelines, and so some of the athletes are saying, "Well, I'm going to tweet, and I'm going to do it anyway," because they're not really talking on their phones, but they're using their phones for Twitter. So what kind of other regulations are you seeing out there that are maybe discouraging that use, and how are the athletes that you work with trying to get around that?
It's funny you ask, because Shaquille actually did send a tweet during halftime last season. It's interesting to see what the leagues and the governing bodies are doing with this, because it is so counterintuitive to everything they've allowed previously in marketing 101. But at the end of the day, wives can still be tweeting, pets can be tweeting, girlfriends. There are still entities close to these individuals and the athletes who are actually performing. Some of the regulations I'm seeing across the various traditional leagues are how and who can monetize that influence. So you have your teams and you have the governing body, and so there starts to become a gray line between who kind of has the rights to those marketing partners and sponsors, and can we naturally integrate them into our social media presence. That's one thing. There are a lot of tall orders in terms of how the leagues, given how formal a lot of the rules are, will adapt to the space. And working with pretty much every single one of them, it's interesting to observe how they're dealing with it.
Yeah, definitely. So a lot of the work you're doing is with athletes, kind of helping them to develop their personal brand. Are you looking at taking the work you do to other markets, like say celebrities or other big household name personal brands?
Absolutely, and are working with a few of them. I mentioned Discount Tire is headquartered actually here, which is a national brand. A few entertainment entities are reaching out. Really, our philosophy and methods apply to every vertical, and it's just more about the personality of the individual or of the brand, and helping them allow that to shine, and kind of educating them on how to expose those attributes about their brand digitally.
Right.
is the big thing.
Right. So where can we find you on Twitter?
At Digital Royalty.
Okay.
On Twitter, and Facebook as well. So /Digital Royalty. Facebook.com/Digital Royalty. Our website is under redesign right now. Looking forward to launching that in the next few weeks. Having some different aspects to it, very untraditional. And so far, yeah. And YouTube, Tweet Reel, we're
all
out
over
there.
the place.
Yeah.
Cool, Amy. Thanks for talking with me today.
Thank you.